Imagine this. Your life is not just a routine or a series of random events. It's a masterpiece in progress. And each morning, as the sun rises, you are handed a fresh brush and a blank canvas. The question isn't whether you'll paint something today, it's what kind of image you'll choose to create. What story will your actions, your mindset, and your habits whisper into the world? Because make no mistake, your daily choices are strokes on that canvas. Success doesn't arrive like a lightning strike. It doesn't come crashing in overnight. It is sculpted slowly, day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. And right now, I want you to listen closely, because there are 10 habits, small yet powerful, that if practiced consistently, can shift the course of your entire life. These habits will mold your character, sharpen your ambition, and quietly rewrite your future. Let's begin with the first one. 1. Set one clear goal every morning. Think of a ship drifting at sea without a destination. It may be moving, but it's going nowhere. It reacts to the wind, to the waves, to every passing storm. It's alive, yes, but it's lost. This is how many people live, moving fast, staying busy, always in motion, but without direction, without a purpose to guide their steps. And here's the truth. Busyness is not the same as progress. Motion doesn't always mean meaning. Achievement is not found in how much you do, it's found in whether what you do truly matters. No revolution, no invention, no legacy was ever born out of confusion. Every great endeavor began with clarity, a clear why, a clear what, a clear destination. Your mind is powerful, but without direction, it becomes chaotic. Like a wild animal, it can run in every direction, following distractions, demands, and doubts. But the moment you wake up and set an intention, a single clear goal, you begin to take your power back. Before the day begins to pull you in 100 directions, pause, breathe, decide. Choose one goal, not 5, not 10, just one. It doesn't need to be impressive or dramatic. It could be as simple as finishing that task you've been avoiding, reading a chapter, calling someone important, or taking the first step in a bigger plan. The size of the goal isn't what gives it power, it's the clarity. Because when your mind has a target, it no longer wanders, it focuses, it acts with intention. That's the hidden secret behind those who achieve great things. It's not random bursts of genius, it's not magic or fate, it's the quiet power of deliberate days stacked one after the other. That's how mountains are climbed, that's how empires are built. So each morning, ask yourself, what is the one thing I will do today that will move me forward? Then do it fully, completely, without distraction. Because vague hopes never build greatness. Clarity does, it always has, and it always will. 2. Start the day with gratitude. Let me tell you something that most people never realize. Your mindset is the compass of your destiny. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. It doesn't matter where you were born or what you've been through. If your mind is filled with fear, scarcity, and bitterness, it will quietly sabotage your path. But there is one practice, a small daily habit, that can rewire your entire mindset. And that habit is gratitude. Most people wake up already feeling behind, already anxious. They open their eyes and immediately think about problems, about what's missing, about everything that could go wrong. They don't realize that their first thoughts of the day are building the emotional weather they will live in. But what if you woke up and before reaching for your phone, before the world had a chance to tell you who you are or what you lack, you paused? What if you took 1 minute, just one, to name 3 things you are grateful for? It doesn't have to be huge. It could be as simple as the comfort of your bed, the breath in your lungs, the light coming through your window. a conversation from yesterday, a chance to start over. Gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect, it's about acknowledging what's already working. And when you train your mind to focus on abundance instead of absence, on what you have instead of what you lack, you step into your power. Because a grateful mind sees possibilities, it sees doors where others see walls, it sees beauty in the middle of chaos, and that mindset becomes a foundation, one that fear, doubt, and negativity can't easily shake. Gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a discipline. A daily practice that strengthens your emotional resilience, your peace, and your clarity. And the strongest people, the ones who remain calm in chaos, are those who have learned to see the good, even when things are far from easy. So start your day with gratitude. Make it your morning ritual. It might not change your circumstances overnight, but it will change how you face them. And that changes everything. 3. Read for 30 minutes every day. If there is one habit that has changed the course of every great life, it's this. They read. Not just for entertainment, not just for passing time, they read to grow. They read to stretch their minds and challenge their assumptions. Because every book is a doorway. A single idea can shift your direction. A single sentence can untangle years of confusion. When you read, you don't just gather facts. You train your brain to think deeper, to reflect, to connect. You feed your inner world, and that world is what shapes everything else. Books are quiet mentors. They give you the wisdom of those who have already walked the path you're on. And in a world drowning in distraction, choosing to read is an act of rebellion. It is you saying, I choose depth over noise, growth over comfort, substance over stimulation. Reading for 30 minutes a day is not much, but over a year, that's dozens of books, thousands of ideas, and a completely transformed mind. So pick a book, make time, and let it open you, let it challenge you, let it stretch you, because the greatest investment you will ever make is in the strength of your own mind. The power within you. There's a man who walks into the world already defeated, not by others, not by life, but by the quiet voice in his own mind that whispers, I'm not enough. He doesn't need chains to be held back. His own thoughts have already bound him. But there is another kind of man. He rises in the morning and says to himself, I am capable. I am strong. I will find a way. He speaks with certainty. He walks with direction. His presence changes the atmosphere around him, not because his path is easier, but because his mind is clearer. And the truth is, the difference between these two men has nothing to do with luck or privilege. It is built entirely on thought. The way you speak to yourself when no one else is around, that is where your future is born. So I ask you, what do you say to yourself? Because your inner dialogue is not harmless noise. It is the quiet architect designing the blueprint of your life. If you keep telling yourself, I can't, your body, your choices, your entire world begins to obey that command. But if you change the message, even slightly, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm getting better every day. You awaken something inside you, a fire, a spark, a will to fight. Words aren't just sounds, they are seeds, and every day you plant them in the soil of your subconscious. If you speak weakness, you'll grow doubt. If you speak courage, strength will bloom. The most successful people in history didn't wait for life to bless them. They spoke their future into existence. They declared who they would become long before anyone else believed in them. And they did it through the power of belief, starting with the words they repeated to themselves every day. So speak wisely, choose bold thoughts, Give your mind commands that serve you, and life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined. 4. Embrace discomfort as a daily practice. Let me be honest with you, comfort is a trap. It's cozy, yes, but it's also dangerous, because the longer you stay there, the more it steals your fire. Comfort dulls your edge. It whispers, "You've done enough." It tells you, "Stay safe, stay here." But growth does not live in that space. Greatness isn't found in ease. It is found on the other side of discomfort. The men who changed history, who built empires, who rose from nothing to something, they didn't run from pain. They welcomed it. They stepped into the heat willingly, like steel being shaped by fire. Because they knew the truth, struggle is the forge of strength. If you want to rise, if you want to become someone powerful, do something hard every single day. Wake up before the world, work through your doubt, speak even when your voice shakes, take action even when you're scared. Chase discomfort. Let it stretch you. Each time you face what's hard, you expand what's possible. You teach yourself that you are not fragile. You prove to yourself that fear is not a stop sign. It's just a signal that something meaningful is ahead. Understand this. The man who welcomes discomfort becomes unbreakable. Each challenge becomes a building block. Each failure becomes a lesson. Each moment of resistance becomes a chapter in your victory story. So don't run from hard things. Don't hide from pressure. Walk toward it. Let it mold you. Because the man who suffers today is the man who leads tomorrow. 5. Master the art of focus. In today's world, distraction is everywhere. Notifications, headlines, opinions, entertainment. It's all designed to pull you away from what matters. But here's a truth most people never learn. What you focus on grows. Focus is a force. If you waste it on noise, your life becomes scattered and shallow. But if you direct it with discipline, your life becomes sharp, powerful, unstoppable. The world won't help you focus. It wants your attention. It wants your energy. But you have to choose differently. You have to train your mind like a warrior sharpens his sword. When you focus deeply and deliberately, you move mountains. You see solutions where others see problems. You finish what you start. You begin to feel powerful. Not because everything is easy, but because your attention is undivided. Turn off the noise. Silence the shallow. Create space to think, to build, to go deep. Make focus your superpower, because the man who controls his focus controls his future. And those who don't? They drown in a sea of half-finished ideas, endless distractions, and unmet potential. So protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. In a world that tries to steal your attention at every turn, choosing where to look is the ultimate power. 6. Cultivate relentless self-discipline. Now let's talk about discipline, not the kind others force on you, but the kind you forge for yourself. Discipline is not about being harsh or rigid, it's about being free. Because here's a secret, the man without discipline is not free. He is a prisoner to his moods, his cravings, his excuses. But the man with discipline, he is in control. He moves when it's time to move, not when he feels like it. He does what needs to be done, especially when it's hard. Don't wait to feel motivated. That's a trap. Motivation is unreliable. Some days it shows up, most days it doesn't, but discipline is yours to command. It means waking up early when your body begs for sleep. It means showing up when no one's watching. It means keeping your word to yourself, not just once, but every day. And every time you choose action over excuse, you build something priceless. Trust in yourself. You start to believe deeply that you can count on you, that you don't need to be pushed. You push yourself. This is where confidence is born, not from praise, not from success, but from the quiet, relentless repetition of effort. So let others chase comfort. Let others wait for the perfect mood, the right moment. You become the one who moves anyway, who builds anyway, who keeps going. Because in the end, discipline is the path to freedom. The man who commands himself needs nothing from the outside world. He leads himself, and the world follows. Forge yourself. Shape your future. Talent may open the door, but only discipline will keep it from closing again. Ambition may light the fire, but only discipline will keep it burning when the winds of life try to blow it out. No man in history ever became great without first learning to master himself. And if you want to rise, if you want to create a life that commands respect, then discipline must become your way of life, not just on the good days, not just when you feel like it, every day. Train yourself like a warrior trains for battle. Strengthen your will like muscle. Harden your resolve like armor. Because once discipline becomes who you are, not just what you do, success stops being a question and becomes a certainty. 7. Surround yourself with high-value people. Now let me give you a truth that will shape your destiny. You are not just who you are. You are who you are around. Your thoughts, your actions, your habits, they are all shaped by the people you spend the most time with. Show me your circle, and I'll show you your future. If you surround yourself with men who complain, who accept mediocrity, who make excuses, you will slowly start to reflect the same patterns. Not because you want to, but because influence is subtle and constant. But if you place yourself among people who chase excellence, who break through walls, who dream big and act boldly, you will rise. You'll start thinking differently, acting differently, demanding more of yourself. Choose your circle wisely. There is no neutrality in influence. People either pull you up or drag you down. Be around those who challenge your thinking, who sharpen your mind, who push you to become what you know deep down you're capable of. Look for mentors, people who have already walked the road you're now stepping onto. Engage in conversations that stretch your vision, that force you to confront your limits, that spark your hunger. Because when you're surrounded by greatness, mediocrity becomes unbearable. When you walk with lions, you don't crawl. Choose giants, stand tall, and you will rise. 8. Take daily action toward your dreams. A dream without action is just a daydream, a soft wish whispered into the wind. It vanishes before it ever takes form. Success does not come to the man who waits. It does not visit the one who hopes passively. It rewards only the man who moves, who works, who refuses to let a single day pass without some progress. You do not need to leap every day, but you must step. Even the smallest step is infinitely more powerful than standing still. And do not fall for the myth of overnight success. Every achievement is built one small, intentional act at a time. The book is written 1 page a day. The body is built 1 workout at a time. The empire is born from tiny victories stacked high. If you take consistent action, even just 1% better every day, you'll look back in a year and not recognize who you've become. This is the power of compounded discipline. This is the law of effort. So start today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Start where you are, with what you have, and keep going, because the man who moves today leads tomorrow, and the one who hesitates, he'll spend his life watching others live the dreams he once whispered in silence. 9. End each day with reflection. Most people run through life without ever stopping to ask, What am I learning? But the difference between those who grow and those who stay stuck isn't talent. It's not even effort. It's awareness. Before you end the day, take a moment. Breathe, reflect, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I be better tomorrow? You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be honest. Growth comes not from flawless execution, but from constant correction. Mistakes are not your enemy. Refusing to learn from them is. The greatest men, leaders, innovators, builders, they weren't without flaws, but they studied themselves like a craftsman studies his work. They refined, adjusted, improved. You must do the same. Write it down if you must. Celebrate your wins. Acknowledge your stumbles, not with guilt, but with determination. Because the man who reflects and adapts each day will always outrun the one who never looks inward. So do not let the day end without squeezing some wisdom from it. One lesson, one insight, one truth. That is all it takes. In time, those small truths will lead you to a life few even dare to imagine. 10. The final truth, it's always in your hands. Now listen to me carefully. These 10 habits may seem small, simple even, but their power is anything but small. They are the foundation of a strong mind, a bold heart, a resilient spirit, a life of depth, strength, and meaning. But here's the real question. Will you actually do them? Will you commit? Will you show up even when it's hard? Will you take small actions even when no one sees? Will you hold the line when others give up? That's what separates the average from the exceptional. That's the thin line between a life of regret and a life of fulfillment. So choose wisely. Make today the day you stop waiting, stop wishing, and start building. Because the life you want isn't waiting for you. It's waiting on you. And action, real, focused, daily action, has always been yours to take.